Development Podcast for 2022, January 4. News. There are very early rumblings about the next Nintendo Direct. I will occasionally eyeball the demand for various new Switch announcements from people in the gaming communities and adjust a hype chart accordingly. I'll also take some time weeding out the kinds of demands by accounts that have previously never shown interest in the thing they're demanding, or people who are overly abrasive in their demands, stuff like that. Exclusives, possible surprise announcements, and games from well-regarded series tend to top the list at a current maximum hype of 21 out of 10. These are the games that seem to have the least chance of existing, or have the most content or lastability for a game in their genre, or they have a track record of realizing their potential when they are Nintendo exclusives. These most hyped games make the general gaming public go, I need to drop everything and get a pre-order for this game. Where are the pre-orders going up? Another indicator is games of this much hype get a small but loud portion of the internet very angry, because people who avoid Nintendo platforms will be upset, they'll think Nintendo is stealing away their third parties, or they'll just be angry that they have to pay attention to a Nintendo game that they will not let themselves enjoy. The antics that those kinds of people get up to would probably be the subject of a whole nother video. If such an announcement gets made, we'll see if they flare up again. Exclusives from Nintendo have comparatively lower hype, either because there's always going to be a new Mario or Zelda or Pokemon or Metroid, or because, unless they change something drastically like Breath of the Wild did, you can practically play the upcoming game in your own head based on your memories of previous iterations of that game, and chances are the improvements you're imagining aren't going to line up with the improvements that the eventual game has. At the bottom of the hype list are games that, while still very hype, would be the least world-shaking or least controversial to reveal. Simple ports of great games that need no improvement, or sequels to well-remembered old series. They are still a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 hype. Any lower than that would underqualify for this hype chart. This month's hype chart ought to go up on Twitter soon under the hashtag Nintendo Direct and hashtag hype chart. I may or may not discuss the specific entries on a future episode here. Work. This past couple of days I've been looking up low-level graphical coding with the Godot engine in mind. I'm hoping to either write a plugin or be able to work with the Godot engine to get responsive online play available for Squish sisters. It's also fun to just think about what kind of minimal game-like thing I can do on just the code level alone. It's really tempting to just look into the old MUDs and BBS games of yesteryear and maybe try to make something like that. Play. I'm trying to keep up with the New Year's stuff in Dragalia Lost lately. They gave out an Omnisite recently, and I want to make sure my Dragalia playing friends all get to pick it up. Omnisite basically lets you skip training all aspects of your favorite new character, and fast forwards them to full power in all their various aspects. Health. Another day where there's nothing to complain about, health-wise. It's days like these that I'm actually kind of worried that there's something I'm neglecting and that this is just the calm before the storm. Motivation. Probably a little closer to normal lately. Between more rigorous exercise, more balanced nutrition, butter coffee, and meditation, I've been able to kick myself back into gear a little bit more. Stuff. I recently took a little time to make a batch of key. It was super lazy key, just taking the butter, evaporating out the water, and little to no caramelizing of the milk sugars. But it'll do the job for measuring out tablespoons for butter coffee. As always, thank you for watching or listening, and thank you for funding my games and projects if you are doing that too. My Patreon and other links are in the description. I hope you'll look forward to the next short update, or to the live streams that I do on Twitter if you follow me there.